Number 7. If unbetrothed, unmarried, men and women lie down, sleep with one another in lovelessness and disgrace, whoredom, prostitution, they shall be handed over to the court, for the fallible are unworthy of life and its laws. Thus, they shall be separated from men or women. See explanation of sentence 6 equals separated to a place of fulfillment of guidelines. 8. And if two men lie down, sleep with each other against nature in a homosexual manner that is contrary to nature, for the purpose of procreating offspring in the male body by means of gene manipulation, then they shall be delivered over to the courts, for those fallible are unworthy of life and its laws, and act against these. Thus they shall be emasculated and expelled and banished before the people, separated to a place of fulfillment of guidelines. Explanation. A man cannot be bearing himself, that is, he cannot become pregnant or bear any offspring. However, if he takes steps to become capable of conception and capable of childbearing through a sexual act, such as through gene manipulation or a sex change, etc., at the same time, this does not concern hermaphrodites or dual-gendered persons called transsexuals, who let themselves be surgically transformed into women, because with them, the femininity is more pronounced than the masculinity. Then he offends against the creational natural laws in an outrageous manner. As the bearer of guilt in this form, he is to be separated from society to a remote place for his lifetime. And this should equally occur when a man or a woman unites in a sexual or sodomitic manner with other life forms, that is, with animals and creatures. When a man and a man join together sexually and carry out sexual intercourse with each other, this is, as is well known, called homosexuality. This is a sexual variation that occurs naturally, yet it is against nature. Occurring naturally, yet being against nature, here means that a different sexual variation, which manifests itself in a natural wise, arises, which cannot serve the law of the natural reproduction. Therefore, with regard to an intended procreation of offspring, this sexual variation is said to be against nature, or naturally occurring against nature. Homosexuality is a variation rooted in genetics, and for this reason, it is considered natural. But due to the inability to reproduce, it is categorized as being against nature. Hence, homosexuality is designated as a naturally occurring sexual variation that is against nature. The male homosexuality represents a naturally occurring sexual variation that is against nature, which therefore could never be classified as unlawful on account of any of the natural creational laws. It is therefore considered naturally normal, although against nature, precisely because of the impossibility for procreation to occur. Now, when it is stated in the Talmud Jmmanuel that a homosexual joining of man and man is punishable, this only means that homosexual men are guilty when they come together in such a wise that makes them capable of conception and capable of childbearing in a manner that is against nature and outrageous. For instance, through gene manipulation or a sex change, etc. And then thereby also have sexual relationships for the purpose of procreating offspring by this means. The Talmud Jmmanuel and also the spiritual teaching differentiate between gendered intercourse and sexual intercourse. Accordingly, gendered intercourse can only be exercised amongst those of the same gender, but a sexual act can only be exercised by those of different genders, that is, between man and woman. So, to reiterate, the following is to be explained. If the man takes steps, such as through genetic manipulation or a sex change, without being dual gendered, that is, without being a pronouncedly female hermaphrodite, etc., in order to become capable of conception and capable of childbearing through a sexual act, then he offends against the creational natural laws in an outrageous manner. As the bearer of guilt in this form, he is to be separated from the society to a remote place for his lifetime, which means that he is emasculated in this manner. This should equally occur when a man or a woman unites in a sexual or a sodomitic manner with other life forms, that is, with animals and creatures. 9. If, however, two women lie down, sleep together, in gendered attraction, female homosexuality, they shall not be delivered over to the courts because they do not violate the life and its laws, because the women are not inseminating, but are bearing. 10. If a man and a woman lie down, sleep together, in the love of free, unbound connection, companionship, and in devotion, love for the next one, and therefore in confidence, in confidentiality, in gendered attraction, sexual, heterosexual, their doing shall not be punished. 11. If, however, women or men entice sexually for whoredom, go whoring equals behave as female prostitutes or male prostitutes, they shall be delivered over to the court for punishment, that they may be separated from men or women, separated to a place of fulfillment of guidelines. Explanation. The woman can, with regard to gendered or sexual acts, The woman can, with regard to gendered or sexual acts, be bisexual, so therefore exercise both a same-sex love, lesbianism, as well as a sexual act, intercourse between man and woman, equaling heterosexual. If a woman is connected matrimonially with a man, however, then she should not be able to have a sexual relationship only with another woman, if at all, but she is also to maintain an appropriate sexual relationship with her husband. If the wife disregards or does not maintain the sexuality with the husband, but only maintains the same-sex relationship with another woman, then she is to be brought to a place of fulfillment of guidelines for her lifetime, where she is only among women, which also means then that she is defeminized, separated from men. This law is equally valid for the husband if he does not fulfill his sexual obligations with regard to his wife, but exercises this only with other women in heterosexuality, or only with another man in bisexuality. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Salome.